welcome back to Frenchies Bakery. Today we are going to be making a tres leches cake. Oh my goodness, this is one of my biggest weaknesses. This has been so requested. People are always asking for this recipe. People are always asking for me to make them for them. So I hope that this video is very helpful. I'm super excited to share it with you guys. I already have the ingredients for the cake laying out here, and I will let you guys know the measurements. But before we do that, you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So let me do that real quick before I forget, so it's nice and preheated by the time I have all this mixed up. All right, so the ingredients that you will need for your cake is 5 egg whites and 5 egg yolks. So I have them here in a measuring cup. I just cracked the eggs and kept going like this with the eggs until all of the white fell out, and then I just dumped the yolk inside the measuring cup. I should have probably done it for you guys to show you what I'm talking about, because this is probably not really explaining it very well. But you also can just crack the egg, put it in there, and then just grab out the yolk with your hand, and it works just as well. But I usually just divvy it between the two shells until all of the egg white falls out. You're also gonna need a half a cup of softened butter, 2 cups of granulated sugar, a teaspoon and a half of vanilla extract, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and a teaspoon of salt. And last but not least, a cup of milk. And I have some whole milk here to make it extra yummy. All right, so I have a big mixing bowl here. I'm gonna be doing this with my KitchenAid mixer. You can also use a handheld mixer, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to be adding in my egg whites. And then we are going to mix this until it is a little foamy. And then we will add in some sugar to make it nice and stiff. All right, so as you can see, there's a bunch of bubbles in there. It's nice and foamy. So I have a cup of granulated sugar here. I'm gonna add this in nice and slow with the mixer on a slow speed. And once all of the sugar is added in, I'm then gonna put it on a high speed and just keep on mixing it until we get some stiff peaks and it's nice and glossy and pretty and just ready to go and be folded into our other ingredients. All right, once we have our egg whites to a stiff peak without them falling over whenever you do that little like fluffing motion that I was doing, we're then going to move on to the rest of our ingredients for the cake. So I have my half a cup of butter in here and the rest of the granulated sugar, which is a cup of granulated sugar. So I'm going to mix this on a low speed, well, medium speed, until it becomes nice and incorporated and creamy. All right, and now we're going to add in 1 egg yolk at a time and scraping the bowl in between each egg yolk. And then we're gonna add in our vanilla extract. Just add that in while it's mixing up. And then we're actually going to take this over to the island and do the rest by hand. So now we are going to add in our flour mixture and our milk, and we are just going to be alternating these. So I'm gonna add in a little bit of flour, mix it around, and then add in a little bit of milk and mix it around, and keep doing that until both of these ingredients are gone. And then once you have all of this mixed together, we are going to add in our egg whites. So I'm going to add in about half at a time. So I'm gonna just do half of the bowl, mix it in really nice and lightly. We do not want to deflate our eggs. So I'll just put in, like I said, probably half the bowl. And then just fold this in really nice and light. You just gotta have a gentle hand. So I'm just doing the same movements I was doing with the flour and the milk. I just scrape around the sides and then fold it into the middle. Time to bake. This is a gorgeous batter. I'm obsessed with just how nice and light and fluffy and just pretty it is. I just love this cake batter. So I have a 9 by 13 inch pan here and I already greased it. So we're just gonna dump our batter in and pop this into our 350-degree oven and bake it for about 35 to 40 minutes. All right, so my cake is cool completely and I flipped it out on a cookie sheet here because it has a little bit of a lip. So this is going to stop the milk that we're gonna be pouring all over this from going everywhere. I wanted it to be on a cookie sheet so I could cut it really easily and get the slices out rather than it being in a deep baking dish. I just thought that this would be much, much easier. And don't worry, this is not dirty. I just used it a lot in the past 6 years. So you know somebody bakes if their baking sheets look like this. So the cake is upside down. I prefer having mine like this. This is how I would do a regular sheet cake if I was decorating it because it will give you sharper edges to ice the cake with. So that's how I do these cakes as well. I usually just put all of my cakes upside down. So real quick, we are going to work on our mixture, our milk mixture that we're going to be putting on top of this. So here I already have my sweetened condensed milk and it is a 14-ounce can that I poured in here. And then we are going to add in our evaporated milk, which is a 12-ounce can. So we're just gonna pour that right in this big bowl here. And then a teaspoon of vanilla extract and then half a cup of heavy whipping cream. And I'm just going to whisk this together with my fork that's in here. So just mix it up real good. The sweetened condensed milk is really thick, so you want to make sure that everything gets mixed together. This looks so good, you guys. Oh my gosh. The kitchen smells incredible. It's always such torture waiting for the 35 minutes, 40 minutes, however long, anything that I'm baking. It's always such torture waiting for things to bake because it makes the house smell so incredible. So I'm just gonna whisk this up, get it all mixed, ready to go. And then we're gonna take our cake with a fork and just stab the top of the cake so the milk can go down deep into the cake so it can soak in really nice and just be so stinking yummy. So just stab the whole top of your cake and this will just, you know, make it easier for the milk to go inside of it. And then we are just going to pour the milk mixture on top of our cake here. Make sure you pour it on nice and slowly. Get it on nice and evenly. Oh my gosh, you guys, this looks incredible. Smells incredible. Yummy! And I am actually going to let this sit here for a few hours, maybe overnight. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to wait that long, but preferably you let it sit for a few hours / overnight. And I'm going to keep bringing the tray back and forth to get this excess underneath it, inside of it, on top of it. Just make sure that all of this yumminess doesn't go to waste and it gets inside that cake. So now's the hard part. We have to wait, but it's okay, we can do this together. All right, so my cake has been chilling in the fridge for several hours, for a very, very, very long time. So now we are going to move on to our last step, and that is making the whipped cream to go on top. Ooh, it's so yummy. So I have 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream here, a half a cup of powdered sugar, and then we're gonna put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And we're just gonna add all of this together in our mixer and whip it up until we get some stiff peaks. So I have my cake here and I'm going to leave it on the cookie sheet while I ice this, and then we can cut it up and put it on a different tray. But we're just going to put our heavy whipping cream down and just spread it out nice and evenly and just make it look real pretty. take a little bit of ground cinnamon and just sprinkle it right over the top. Alright guys, just like that, our Tres Leches cake is finished. The kitchen smells incredible. The cinnamon just adds a great flavor and smell to it, and it makes it look really pretty. I love cinnamon. So you can leave that part out. You can also add some fresh berries on top, but this cake is so incredible, you guys. I want to devour the whole entire thing, but I have to stop myself from doing that. I can't be eating a whole entire cake myself, but just look at how gorgeous it is. The cake just comes out so gorgeous. It turns out absolutely perfect every single time. I mean, like, that is just a gorgeous, gorgeous cut. And whenever you cut into it, the cake doesn't fall apart. It's absolutely perfect. It's a little bit of work and it takes some time, but it is totally worth it, you guys. This is so incredible. And the icing on top is just so delicate and light and just super, super yummy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. Bye.